Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Den Haring, channel's Fish Den 365. We've got an important one for you today to teach you about a lesson that I learned recently, a mistake that I made, and I don't want you to make the same mistake. So today we're talking about drop shot fishing, and let me just show you what a standard drop shot looks like, and then we're going to show you a couple of other things and then the lesson learned. So most of you are familiar with this drop shot rig, simple rig. So you tie your hook on here, you have your hook, you have your weight, you tie the hook on so that the point is up, and this is a little bait fish I have on there, and then your weight's down here. Well, a month or two ago I was watching Ike in the shop, and before I go any further with this, I just want to say that I think that show is great. I love watching all these types of videos. I learn a lot by watching other people's videos, but on this particular video, Mike was talking about a new way to rig a drop shot, and the way he showed it was you put a bobber stop on your line. I've got one bobber stop here. Some people call them sinker stops. And then you put your hook on the line. So I'm going to do exactly what the video instructed. And then another bobber stop. And this does some very interesting things here. You'll get to see this in just a minute, so bear with me as I put this bobber stop on. And so you put a bobber stop on either side of the hook like that. Hopefully you can see that. And then you would take your drop shot weight. You need one with a swivel on it. I use these ones that you put the line in, but I widen them. I open them up, and then I always tie my my line on there. I usually use I usually use just a simple double loop knot, because I want if I get hung up, especially the weight, I want the weight to come off so that I don't lose the rest of my rig. So I just simply tie a double loop knot there. So now you've got this rig like this with the weight here and then this hook. And this is a really cool thing, right? Because this thing can swing around, it's free floating. And that's one advantage, but the bigger advantage from my point of view is you can adjust the length of line between your hook and your weight without having to retie or cut line or anything like that. Freaking super convenient. So when Michael Iaconelli showed this on Ike in the shop, I thought, this is great. I immediately went out and got extra bobber stops and thought, I'm going to fish my drop shot this way. Well, I was out with a buddy of mine, Alan Carl, on Thursday at Lake Walpolpack, and I was fishing this, and I caught a small smallmouth. I got him into the boat, and he was flipping around, and the next thing I know, I heard my weight drop, and my hook fell off. I found my hook and my weight in the bottom of Alan's boat, and I thought, oh, the line must have broke. I really didn't think anything of it. And then the next day I was back out on the lake, and I was dragging a drop shot in the wind, and I hooked into a very large smallmouth bass, and I was fighting this fish, and he jumped 3 times and he came off. And when I reeled everything back in, I had no weight and no hook and only one bobber stop. And that's when the Houston we have a problem moment hit my mind. The problem with this rig this way is if you get a smallmouth on, as he's fighting, this hook is going right down to the weight. And then if he's pulling here and pulling hard enough or flipping around, and you have just a simple couple overhand knots or something like that, like I did, off comes the weight, off comes the hook, off comes your smallmouth. And you lose the bobber stop as well. You end up with one bobber stop left on your line. So when I saw that, I immediately went back to my standard drop shot rig where I tie a knot to the hook, I have the same knot on the weight, so I know that way nothing's going to slide down to the weight and come off that way. Unfortunately, I think as great of an idea as this is, I think no matter what knot you tie down on this weight, when that smallmouth gets that hook down there, bad things are likely to happen. You're likely to lose the. I mean, I had a little one do that to me, and then I lost a good 4-pounder that way, and so I don't recommend fishing this. And I'm wondering if any of you viewers have tried this, and if you have a better method. You could tie a knot in your line below the below this bottom bobber stop, so you can't slide that bobber stop down, but then you lose the ability to adjust your hook. So what's the point? From my, the only thing there is you still have the free swinging hook, which to me is not nearly as important as being able to adjust the length of line from your drop shot weight. So to me, it's back to the standard, and I know that VMC makes a spin shot hook where they actually have like a little swivel with a hook in the middle. So you can tie your line to either side, but that's not adjustable either because you're tying your line to the swivel. So you can't adjust that up and down. The nice thing about that is it is free swing, but what I don't like about the VMC setup is I don't care for the hook they use. To me, it's not as good a drop shot hook as the Gamakatsu drop shot hooks. So just want to let you guys know that. I'm just dying to know if you fished this and had a similar experience as I did, or if you found out a way to prevent what I'm describing as happening. But sure enough, anytime you hook something with either whether it's you hook a tree or whatever, or a fish, this is going to slide down and go right to that weight, and fish putting pressure on that weight, it's just not a good thing. I can see that coming off more often than not, and I don't want to risk another 4-pounder on that setup with the drop shot weight. So for me, it's back to the original drop shot. If anybody out there has a different experience or has solved this issue, please comment and let me know, because I'd love to hear about it. There may be a better way of doing this that I haven't figured out yet. I love the idea that Ike in the shop came up with on this, but for me it doesn't work because of the situation with the hook sliding down. Well, I hope you got something out of that video. If you did, give me the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Can't wait to get back out there and get you more content. We've got another upcoming Topwater Tuesday, so stay tuned for that. Hope to see you on the water. And as always, may God bless your fishing endeavors.